Disclaimer, Uchinabu TV02. Love, they say, is patient. Love is kind. But what happens when love is tested by money, sacrifice, and harsh reality? Welcome to Face of Love, a deeply emotional Nollywood story that explores the true meaning of sacrifice, ambition, and the painful choices that come with trying to build a future. A dream begins with joy, but quickly turns into pressure. The movie opens on a light and joyful note. We meet a young, vibrant girl whose happiness is simply contagious. She has just achieved something life-changing. She gained admission into the university. And in Nigeria, you already know what that means. It's not just a personal victory, it's a family celebration. Her excitement is pure. She talks about printing her results, seeing others cry because they didn't make it, and thanking God for her own success. You can feel her relief, her gratitude, and her hope for a better future. But even in that joy, there's a subtle tension building underneath. Because in Nigeria, getting admission is one thing, paying for it is another battle entirely. Celebration before the storm. Her friends gather around her, hyping her up, celebrating her achievements. There's laughter, playful banter, and even plans to go out and shut down a new bar in town. It's a typical youthful moment, carefree, exciting, and full of life. Her boyfriend enters the picture, showering her with affection. He calls her my baby, admires her beauty, and expresses pride in her success. At first glance, everything looks perfect. Love, friendship, dreams. But if you pay attention closely, you start to notice something. The love feels a bit surface level. He's present for the celebration, but will he be present for the struggle? Reality hits hard, 700,000 naira. Then comes the turning point of the story. The school fees are revealed, 700,000 naira. And just like that, the entire mood shifts. The excitement fades, the smiles weaken, and reality sets in like a heavy storm. You can feel the panic in her voice, the fear, the confusion. How are we going to do this? That question alone carries the weight of millions of Nigerian youths who have dreams but lack the financial means to pursue them. Love or sacrifice? Here's where Face of Love truly shines. The movie begins to explore what love really means, not in words, but in actions. Her boyfriend initially seems supportive, promising her that she will go to school no matter what. He reassures her, tries to calm her down, and speaks like someone ready to stand by her. But as the story unfolds, we begin to question, is he truly ready to sacrifice? Or is he just speaking emotionally in the moment? Because love is easy when things are good. The real test is when things fall apart. A contrast of characters. One of the most powerful elements in this story is the contrast between characters. We see a friend who is more practical, someone who understands the gravity of the situation and begins to think of real solutions. We also see another female character expressing her own insecurities, questioning intelligence, destiny, and whether she is meant for a different path in life. That moment is very deep. She talks about how some people seem to have everything, beauty, brains, opportunities, while others struggle to find their place in life. It's a raw reflection of societal pressure and self-doubt, and it adds emotional depth to the story, reminding us that everyone is fighting their own internal battles. The ultimate sacrifice. Now this is where the movie hits hard. The boyfriend, faced with the harsh reality of raising money, begins to consider drastic measures, selling his generator, selling his television, even considering selling more. Think about that. In a country where electricity is not stable, a generator is not just a luxury, it's survival. But he's willing to let it go. Why? For her dream. This moment defines the core theme of Face of Love. Love is sacrifice. Not just sweet words, not just romantic gestures, but real, painful sacrifice. The big question, is it worth it? As viewers, we are forced to ask ourselves, would we do the same? Would we sell everything we have just to support someone we love? And even deeper, what if that love doesn't last? Because here's the truth the movie quietly hints at. Sacrifice without certainty is a dangerous gamble. Friendship steps in. While love seems shaky, friendship begins to shine. One of his friends steps up, offering 160,000 naira despite his own struggles. He even mentions how his business is still recovering after his mother's death. That's not just help, that's sacrifice too. And it shows something powerful. Sometimes the people who truly stand by you aren't the ones who promise forever, but the ones who show up when it matters most. Realism at its peak. What makes Face of Love stand out is how realistic it is. There's no exaggerated drama, no over-the-top fantasy, just real-life struggles, school fees pressure, financial instability, relationship uncertainty, dreams versus reality. It's a mirror of everyday Nigerian life, and that's why it hits so deeply. Love is not always enough. One of the subtle messages in this movie is this: love alone is not enough. You can love someone deeply, but if there's no stability, no shared vision, no real support, that love will struggle. The female character even questions her relationship at some point, hinting that intellectual compatibility matters to her. That moment is very important because it shows that love is not just emotional, it's also practical. The emotional weight. From start to finish, Face of Love carries a heavy emotional tone. You feel the joy of achievement, the fear of uncertainty, the pain of sacrifice, the tension of relationships, and most importantly, the pressure of trying to build a future in a difficult environment. Performance and delivery. The acting in this movie feels natural and relatable. The characters speak like real people, not scripted robots. The use of local expressions, humor, and everyday language makes the story even more immersive. You don't just watch the movie, you feel like you're part of it. Final thoughts. Face of Love is not just a love story. It's a story about dreams, sacrifice, reality, and the true test of relationships. It reminds us that love is not proven by words, but by actions. And sometimes those actions come at a cost. Rating 8.5 out of 10. Emotional depth, realistic storytelling, strong themes, relatable characters. Call to action. If this story touched you in any way, if you've ever struggled to chase your dreams or sacrifice for someone you love, then this channel is for you. Subscribe to Flicks and Feels for more powerful Nollywood movie reviews, emotional breakdowns, and stories that stay with you long after the screen goes off. Like, comment, turn on notifications, because on Flicks